anything and I'll answer what I will want to answer. Edition. Thank you for joining the live stream, for watching the recording, generally for being here. And please, guys, ask your questions. Anything related to Czech immigration, housing in the Czech Republic, starting a business, getting a trade license, health insurance, anything that comes to mind in regards to the Czech Republic, moving here or living here, there, whatever. I'll be staying for about 20 minutes. We'll see. Of course, now is just one person watching, as always in the beginning. So you, one person, if you have a question, please lay it on me. If not, more people will start joining in about 5 minutes. Fuck, it's late. Anyway, in about 1 minute, and then questions will start pop up. Fuck, my English is terrible today, guys, so this might be actually fun. Hasibul Hussain, hi brother, how are you? I'm good, how are you? What's the time wherever you're watching from? It's 9 o'clock in the evening here in Prague, with pitch dark outside. Hey, hi Jan, thank you for your help and support regarding immigration to Czech Republic, visas and permits, really appreciate it. Also your tips and suggestions. My pleasure. Thank you very much for saying this as well, because it shows that shows the appreciation, which is always good. So thank you, A. Mohammed Saeed, hi Jan, how are you? I'm good, Mohammed, how are you? Hasibul is doing great, that's amazing. Bangladesh and time is 2:11. What the fuck are you still doing? Like, not sleeping? Hasibul, if it's 2 a.m., why are you not sleeping? Are you working? Kwasinyahuni, is bank statement for 3 months accepted for student visa? We usually don't even submit bank statement. We submit just a letter from a bank saying how much is your balance. And as long as this is like super fresh, like a week or two or something, definitely not older than 2 months when you're submitting your application, it's usually fine for the immigration. They don't want to see anything else. If you want to submit a bank statement, then I would do 3 months, but only if the money has been there the whole time. If you deposited the money like 2 weeks ago, and before there you had like $5 there, then I would probably not do that because it will not look well. So it depends on the situation, but yeah, this is the answer. Arvinda, Hayan, last live I failed to send text, but this time, okay. Yeah, no worries, Arvinda, I'll wait for you. I'll stay for another like 17 minutes, so you have time. I'll wait until then, at least. Hasibul, well, I will sleep after eating suhoor as it's Ramadan. I come late from work, so I just stay up till 3:30 and sleep. What do you do, if you don't mind me asking? Why do you come home from work at 2 o'clock or late or whenever? And what is suhoor? I have no idea what suhoor. Hey, pretty much out of curiosity, do changes in Czech labor code somehow affect new visa applications? They might. It depends on what's the change. Because of course, like if you're a foreigner and you want to work in the Czech Republic, I need to shave myself. If you want to work in the Czech Republic and you want to like get a visa or residence permit based on that, then you obviously need to follow the rules of the change in labor code. So there are some things that are major, like some groups of foreigners getting free access to the Czech labor market. That was a pretty big change, and that definitely influences the visa processes. There are some smaller changes, like that's not exactly the labor code, but like if they increase, for example, the minimum salary, then of course everyone must increase their salary to at least that minimum. And if you don't, it can also like influence your application. So yes, the labor code can influence some applications if they are related to employment and they are significant to the foreigners agenda. Yeah, it can. Those two laws go together sometimes. Hello, if Czech, Saeed Akramuddin. Hello, if Czech citizens are earning in other countries, Gulf countries, do they have to pay tax to the Czech government? I would say it depends if we have an agreement like the Czech Republic and that country about preventing double taxation. And it also depends on how long, what are the rules, because in the Czech Republic, you generally become a tax resident here if you spend here more than a half of the year, so 183 days. Then you become a Czech tax resident and you should pay taxes here. But also depends if we have the agreement preventing double taxation or not. This is more of a question for an accountant, not exactly for me, but this is what I know about it. MBG wrote a message and then deleted that. It was secret. Mohammed Saeed, hi Jan, I have second interview on 20th March 2025 at Czech Embassy in New Delhi for my family reunification. What do you suggest to prepare for the interview? Well, if it's for family reunification, there might be a couple things, but usually interviews are about the purpose of your stay. So most likely they will be questioning your relationship. So let's say usually, Ministry of the Interior started doing this pretty recently. I would say a couple months back. It's not like a very old thing. And they started doing this and they started denying applications saying you're married, but you're not really a couple. So there is no family reunification because you're not a family. So I would expect questions about your relationship. So when did you meet? When did you get married? Do you know her parents' names, dates of birth? What does your wife do in the Czech Republic? How much money is she making? Where is the apartment located? How many times you've seen each other? How many times she traveled to visit you? How many times you traveled to visit her? Do you own any property in wherever you are from? Do you have any kids? Things like this to show, because where the ministry questions that is if the main applicant is in the Czech Republic or has been in the Czech Republic for years, and the spouse have been outside of the Czech Republic for years, the same amount of years, and then you visited each other once or two times in 5 years, then where is the marriage? You've been living apart for 5 years, so are you really a family? Are you really a married couple, or it's just on paper and now you're trying to get a Czech visa? So I would be prepared for these kind of questions, and I would definitely focus on making it not look but explain that you really are a couple, you have serious relationship, even if you haven't seen each other for a bit. Hasibul Hussain, can any agency from Europe get someone from non-EU work permit? I don't know about Europe. In Europe, it's very likely possible. In the Czech Republic, I would say you have very high chances of getting scammed and never getting a visa and never getting the job and never coming here. If you try to do this in the Czech Republic, you pay someone for a work permit or employment contract, because from some countries, of course, depends on where you are, what's your conditions, what's your situation, what kind of job, all that. But if you're, for example, from India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, all around there, the chances that you will get a real job offer which will get you here are 2% maybe, something like that. So that's up to you if you want to risk that or not. Qasim Yahwimi, suhur is a pre-dawn meal that Muslims eat before starting the daily fast during the month of Ramadan. Okay, thank you for explaining. It's eaten before dawn prayer, and marks the beginning of the fast. Okay, understood. Thank you. Sam Uisal Hayan, just over an email. Looking forward to your response. Thank you as well. Arvinda. Okay, so Arvinda managed that today to ask the question. Received an employment contract letter but not work permit or case number of my work permit. Also, I received employee card application documents, but my consultancy is forcing me to seasonal. Well, this is kind of what I was talking about a minute ago, that if you're from India or Nepal or around there, most likely you've been scammed and you will never get an employee card because there are simply no available slots for that. from this perspective, it might make sense that they try to push you into the seasonal work, because that is possible to apply for it, even though pretty unlikely to get, but potentially it can happen. But realistically, there is no, you cannot really switch from the seasonal work type of visa to anything else in the Czech Republic. So you can come here, stay for 9 months tops, and then you need to leave and try again. So it doesn't really sort anything. The only thing you can switch to is an employee card if you wanted to, blue card is a blue card if you got like a job which is well paying, 1.5 of the Czech national average. So let's say 6,000 crowns, 70,000 crowns a month. And if you have at least bachelor's degree. But other than that, most likely you've been scammed. Say heaven. Hey Jan, it's been almost 6 months since I applied for an employee card through an embassy and no response from them. Will a decision still come through? 1 year has passed on the contract already. Well, hard to say. Nah, that's difficult to say if I don't know anything about your case. 6 months is obviously more than the legal deadline. If you applied for an employee card, they have 60 to 90 days to make the decision. So if they've been taken 6 months, you can take some legal action against them. And I would probably recommend doing it in this case, because it's stupid, like 6 months for an employee card. Hard to say. It's also possible that no one is actually checking anything and it just lays on a shelf somewhere, and the person who was checking your case is either sick or went to holiday or both combined or whatever. So it might be just not that they are taking time, but someone forgot about your application and nothing's really happening. So it can still be approved, but most likely they would request some additional documents. Maybe they're looking into your employer, stuff like that. So it's difficult to say what's going to happen, but you could potentially take some action against them. Wasim Yahomi, how much money we should deposit in bank account for student visa? We usually say equivalent to 120,000 crowns. It's slightly less, but 120 is the safe amount. Archibambi, hello Archibambi. Nur Hayati Ad, Hayan, hello from Malaysia. Hi to Malaysia. I'm filing in Prague. Okay, welcome. So you have the same view as I do right now. Darkness. No question here, just to thank you and your team, Lucy, for the help on purchasing the health insurance. She was very attentive and responsive. Okay, I like this. Thank you very much for praising our services online and live stream. Thank you, Nuriati. I'm happy we could help, and I am happy Lucy could help on your journey as well, and we made it happen together. So welcome here and enjoy. Prague is beautiful. Saad Akmal, hey Jan, how are you doing? I'm applying for a bachelor student visa from Pakistan, and the account for the proof of funds is by my mother's name. How can I make a declaration statement to show it? I would not really recommend doing this. I would recommend like opening a bank account in your own name and depositing the money there. Because one thing is that you need to have enough money. So your mom could like get a bank letter or bank statement and then write a letter saying that you will be able to use your money. But the second part is that you actually must be able to use the money in the Czech Republic. So if it's in her account and you have a debit card with your name linked to that account, that's fine. But if you have no card to that account, that's kind of questionable, because you kind of have the money, your mother promised you to have the money, but you will not be able to use it in the Czech Republic if you need it, because you have no way of withdrawing it or anything. So that would be questionable. Randomatic, what NFL team do you like? What is NFL? I have no idea. Dean Vermeer. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing all your names, guys. Sorry for that. Doing my best. Hi, Ann, few questions. For student visa, if I pay my tuition fee, will that reduce the amount for proof of funds? Well, it will reduce your balance, but it will definitely not reduce the requirement. The like proof of funds requirement. You still need to have even 120,000 crowns in your account. Doesn't matter if you already paid the tuition or not. Zedenia Duo. Can I get a tourist visa as a freelancer? I don't have no business registration or tax document, but I have steady income of minimum 800, 100. What's wrong with me, guys, today? 800 euros a month with proof and letter from clients confirming the work. We don't really do and bank account with over 5,000 euros. We don't really do short-term visas, tourist visas. So I cannot really answer that, but it's hard for me to imagine that you could get a visa based on a business which is in no way related to the Czech Republic. So probably not, but really we don't really do short-term visas, so I cannot really advise there with clear conscience. Yashwant K, hi, back to you. So, Zaire, I don't know how to pronounce it, man, sorry. Hi, Jan, can I apply for my son permanent residence? She's 6 years old and she was born here in Czech, but my wife and I have only long-term residence. Good question. I don't know, honestly. Honestly, I don't know. That rarely happens, especially on the live stream, but I don't know. Maybe get in touch, like the standard way, via email or something, and I'll find out. Like it's easy to find out, but I don't know it from top of my head actually. If the parents don't have the PR, if the child can get it. I would say that if you had the PR and the kid was just like born or was very young, she or he, they could still get it. But I'm not sure if it works the other way around. If the 6 years old child could actually get a PR without parents having it. I don't know. Get in touch and I'll find out and I will let you know. Poonam Pandey, is it possible to apply for employee card directly by third country citizens having work permit of Hungary? If you've been living in Hungary for more than 2 years legally, then you can potentially apply for an employee card in Dresden, in Germany. If you haven't lived there for more than 2 years, you cannot apply in the EU or anywhere else other than the country of origin. Arvinda, job is qualified workers for cultivation and treatment of the forest. Mega Krish SRO, company my employer didn't give a work permit or case number for seasonal, instead they have given me an employee card application. Well, I would question the situation. Of course, I don't know anything about the company, Mega Krish SRO. I don't know anything about your case and how they're handling it, who is handling it, and I don't know what their intentions are. If they really want to hire you or if they're just trying to like get money out of you. I'm from India, Jan. Can you please help me to solve this doubt while I will send my documents through email? We can potentially do it, but I don't really like that because we provide it as a service. So you can send us our documents, pay a fee, and then we'll check the documents and we'll tell you like if they look good, if they look solid, if you have any chances. But problem is, in 99% of cases, you don't really have chances or not really high. So you can send us the documents to check. We'll charge you a fee for checking the documents because we'll need to spend time on it and like we'll need to check all the databases, all that. But most likely the outcome is gonna be like, sorry, but it's most likely not gonna work out. So up to you. I don't really like doing it because in all cases, we almost know the outcome in advance. But we still need to go through everything, check what we can, and then we can tell you for sure. So NFL is the National Football League from United States of America. I mean, hiring players who already are like too old to play in the EU, to play in your clubs. I don't think if I have any idea about that. Just messing with you. I don't really watch it. I used to play football or soccer for 17 years. Back then I used to love it, but I don't care about it anymore. It's just I don't find it entertaining. I don't find it like giving anything to my life. So I don't really watch it. I might watch some very like nice games where you can like actually see that they are professionals, but it's in my opinion very hard to find nowadays, where like both the teams, you see that they know what they're doing, and it's like if they're really fighting, if like professional warriors. And now it's I try to watch football or soccer like from the time to time, but usually after 10 minutes I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, guys, and what the fuck am I doing watching this? So now I don't have any favorite teams, neither really in here or in the US. Mohammed Saeed Hayan, do you have an idea how many days Czech embassy will take time for decision after second interview of family reunification visa? Depends on how you pass the interview. Usually if you pass it well, the approval comes faster. So I would say a couple of weeks, like 2-3 weeks. If you don't pass it well, that might take longer, and then they will deny it. So I would say it depends on how you deal with the interview. Nur Hayati R, thanks Jan. Yes, Prague is breathtaking, such a lovely city. Anyway, I will reconnect again with you in the future for family reunification visa application. Of course, we'll be happy to help. Meanwhile, enjoy the sun finally coming back to Prague after the cold months. Hey, a bit off topic, but will you participate in the Prague half marathon on April 5th? I'll be running 21K, really nervous and looking forward to it. Not this year, not this year. But let me know. We might actually, like, if you live in Prague, I don't remember if you're already in Prague or not. But we could do something together, like, I mean, some running. Because I ran a couple races in Prague, but mainly the 10s, the night 10s. Then I ran like a very long, like a bit above marathon along one of the rivers here, because we have like these like, how is it called, like races where you run along a river. Usually it's like from Prague, and then you go back towards the starting point of the river, and it's usually like 200 kilometers long or something like that, and you are a group of 4 or 5 people and you just do turns. So I ran this earlier, like last year, at the end of last year. That was fun, but I also like messed up with my knee and hip, so I'm now not running that much, trying to get like functioning properly, and I will start training again in like a month. So probably not April this year, but I'll be happy to do half marathon, because I haven't done it officially in a race. I've ran longer than that, but not as a race. So yeah, long answer. Sorry. Kwasim Yahumi, do you offer translation services into Czech without stamp, of course? Well, not really as a separate service. We do official translations. If you need to get some documents officially translated with the stamp and everything, we have a company we work with. Basically all languages that anyone can do in the Czech Republic, we can do. We've translated some documents internally as well, so without the stamp, but we only do it for people who work with us for the whole visa process, because that's kind of complementary to that. We don't do it as a separate service. Just if you want to get translated something, we don't really do that. I love Islam. How many chances for Czech visit visa? Hard to say, because that depends on where you're from, what visa you're applying for, and what's your history and what documents you provide. So very, very difficult to answer that. Arvinda, thanks for information. My pleasure. Ahmed Hassan, hello Jan, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. How are you? And Poonam Pandey, this is so far the last question. So this live stream might be over. Poonam Pandey, there is an agency in Poland which is collecting 40 workers to work in Czech Republic, and they're also claiming they will assist for temporary residence card. They're collecting who just came to Europe. Is it possible? I cannot really imagine that working out. So I would be pretty careful. If you've just come to Europe, you cannot apply for a Czech employee card in Europe. You would still need to apply from the country of origin. So very unlikely, in my opinion. This half marathon is the biggest running event in the Czech Republic with over 15,000 runners. It's mostly in the city center. The streets will be closed that day, and it's good to consider that. Yeah, I'm aware of the race. The tents I ran were also big. There were a couple thousand people as well. Yeah, but I just will not do it this year. But enjoy, and let me know what was the time, or maybe now tell me what time are you aiming at, like for half marathon. And I love Islam, thanks. My pleasure. So there are no further questions. So I'll let you go. You want to have it in 1 hour? Half marathon? Okay, that sounds more realistic. I'd like to run it in about 2 hours or less. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And are you in the Czech Republic or no? Now that you're training here, or you're training somewhere else and then you will just come to the Czech Republic for the race? Arvinda, Jan, if I came there in seasonal visa, can I convert it into employee card after editing my documents? Nope. You cannot do that. That's what I was trying to explain. Safe stuff, Prague. Thank you, Jan. Dobrou noc. Dobrou noc. Safe stuff sounds like it's not that safe. I might Google it. What do you do? Safe stuff. Dobrou noc anyway. And short-term visas cannot be converted into anything, and even like the seasonal visa, if it's the long-term one, it cannot really be converted into an employee card. So unfortunately, that's not really possible. And Ahmed Hassan, I'm in a foundation program in Charles University, and I'm going to have an entrance exam for medical program by the end of May. My visa will end in August. I don't see the question there. I live in Brno. I train in the woods. It's pretty hilly in the Leso Parky here, so the training is pretty hard. Hopefully the 21K in Prague will be nice. Yeah, I think it's definitely the streets are way harder than what you train on. So that will be a change. On the other hand, the people around the track, whatever, around the race, like they're supporting you, and the energy is really great. So that will add some energy to you as well. So yeah, I think you'll enjoy that. Arvinda, Jan, I'm saying my consultancy to see your videos. I already shared your profile also, but they're saying it's possible. Whether you know it's not possible, my consultancy will. It's possible. Well, try and see. Or maybe what you can do is ask them to show you a proof of like how is that possible, you know? If they know it's possible, they should know by which article of the law and what law, or they should send you a link of some governmental website where it specifically says you can convert it and stuff like that. So I would probably ask you about that, or ask them about that. Ahmed Hassan, when is it suitable time to start renewal my visa? If the visa ends in August, well, whenever you get all the documents ready, because you can technically submit the extension 4 months in advance, and late is the last day of the validity of the current residence permit. So anywhere there is fine. Ideally, when you have all the documents ready, so you don't have to send the ministry anything additionally, all that. So let's do last 3 questions. I love Islam, Chathura Banu Obasha Diaz, and Dean Vermeer. And then I'll go home and sleep. So I love Islam. Yes, I have a lot, but now I will contact you through mail. But I'm your kind of fan because of your calm and help in nature. Thank you a lot. See you soon. Thank you very much as well. Chathura. Hi Jan, is it possible to transfer to Italy after obtaining Czech employee card for 2 years? You would need to get an Italian residence permit. So because the Czech one only allows you to work and live in the Czech Republic. You can travel to other Schengen countries for up to 90 days, but other than that, not really. So you will still need to get some local residence permit in Italy. Dean Vermeer. If a company sponsors me a scholarship for 400 euros every month for student visa, so not at once, and they give me a statement is good for proof of funds, I would probably say no. I would need to know a bit more about the situation, but you need to prove that you are making, as a student, you can either use your balance in your bank account, which must be 120,000 crowns, or you can use a proof of income. But proof of income would be 5,000 crowns plus your accommodation cost. So potentially, if your accommodation cost is 5,000 crowns and then the 5,000 crowns, so you're making 10,000 crowns, 500 euros, that should be enough. But if your rent is more, might not be enough. So yeah. Arvinda, Jan, how I know that is my company registered in economic migration program or not? You cannot find out. They have to know. So, and they would know if they were, because that's a pretty important thing to do. So if they didn't tell you that they are registered in the program and that you will be able to get an appointment, all that, then they are probably not. There is no official list you could just see online. And Ahmad, guys, so 2 last questions. Ahmed Hassan and Joseph Jacob, and then I'm leaving. So let me see. Well, for the extension, so Ahmed, for the extension of your student residence permit, you generally need the same documents as you needed for the first application. So that would be the list of documents. And Joseph Jacob, what's the maximum time taken for PR application to be approved? Aside from a platební výměr, what else do I need to show that I'm debt free? There is a lot to cover here, okay? First of all, like the application time or the processing time, that's the easiest to answer. So that's 1 month to never. So maximum time can be like forever, basically. Officially, the ministry has 60 to 90 days tops to make the decision. In real life, they can and they do take as long as they want. So there is no guarantee. Of course, after they like exceed the legal limit, then you can take some steps against them, which often helps. But it's the government, and you cannot really do anything much against the government here. It's not like in the US or somewhere where you can actually sue the government and like make something happen. You can do it here as well, but it will happen like 3 years from now. So anyway, so that's the first one. As for platební výměr, like if you say platební výměr, then you're probably self-employed under the trade license. And in that case, you also need to have the platební výměr, then you need to have like the total from Social Security and total calculation from healthcare. Those are to prove your income. As for proofs of debts, you don't need that for the permanent residence application. Arvinda, okay, Jan, I'm not sending any more questions. Thanks a lot, Jan. It helps us a lot. My pleasure to answer that. Good night, Jan. Have a sweet dreams. We'll see in Czech. We'll see you here. Guys, thank you very much for joining, for asking the questions. It's been a lot of good questions, 35 minutes together, which is great. Now I need to go to sleep. So I'll see you again, guys. Thursday, Monday, Thursday, Monday, until the end of the world. Until the end of the world. Good night. Bye bye.